Welcome back to the second episode of Bouncing Back with Kristin and Jesus. I am Jesus Figueroa at dysfunctional of dysfunctional.com. And as always, I'm accompanied by my co-host, Kristin of according to Kristin.com. Say hi, Kristin.
What up?
So it's a miracle we're actually doing a second episode, unlike last time. I'm hoping that we continue this streak week to week, but we'll see. I know this week we're late because of me because I had an event yesterday.
Because of you.
Yeah, but I made sure that today we got this done. I have my notes ready. Are you ready,
Stop
Kristin?
it. Yes.
Why are you telling me to stop it?
Because you're going to make a joke about me not having notes.
No, no, no. I'm gonna dive right into my notes. I know you don't have your notes, so we'll just continue on with my bizarre notes here because they go all over the place.
As usual.
Yeah. I guess we both are big advocates for mental health, so I thought today we take a little time. Last week we talked about anxiety. Let's talk a little bit about depression and what depression means, because I feel that a lot of social media and a lot of people are confused on exactly what depression is.
Mm-hmm.
For you, what does depression look like for you?
To be honest, I don't know, because I don't know if I really have that. So I don't know. I mean, I could.
I think for a lot of people with depression, they think depression is just sadness, and I feel
Which
that
it's not.
it's not. It's different. It's overextending your energy to feel just okay, not just to be happy, but just to like have a normal day.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when it gets to that point, you can clarify that it's depression.
Yeah.
And it's a waste of energy for most people. I know for me, getting up in the morning is an exhausting task, and I didn't realize it until a couple of years ago that usually when people ask me, "How are you doing today?" and I say tired, they don't realize that it's because it's exhausting to get out of bed.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's it's misconstrued in social media, and I think that's what causes people to be confused about what depression is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know I did a podcast last year with one of my friends about how she got annoyed and how I get annoyed when people use depressed in like everyday situations.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't have almond milk at the Starbucks. I'm depressed. Like, no, that's belittling the situation.
Yeah.
Like depression is so much more worse than that. And anxiety leads into that because anxiety and depression kind of go hand in hand most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like, I don't know if I have depression, but I know even with having anxiety, it's like people just, when they don't understand, they think you're like constantly on edge, or, I mean, that's, with what I deal with anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the same with depression. Just because someone has depression doesn't mean they're constantly sitting in their bed crying, eating a gallon of ice cream. You know what I mean? It's like,
Is that talking from experience?
no, I don't do that actually.
I'm not big on sweets, so I don't do that either. But I definitely have moments where I'm just trying to hype myself up to get through the day. And I know, especially from talking to my doctor, that I use my little bits of comedy to kind of like get through the day and mask my whatever I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And also know that from the way I've been going about things, a lot of people think I'm very cold. Like I don't talk with very much emotion, and they
Mm-hmm.
think, oh, it's because you don't feel. And it's like, I don't think that's it. I feel like a lot of it is the fact that there's so much going on in my head that I can't properly process it to get emotion out.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, like that could be part of the depression that I'm going through. And talking about it is exhausting as well. I mean, I'm not sure exactly how much of it I want to share on social media and on this podcast, but I'm forcing myself to speak about it more and more
Hmm.
because I want to get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
that's a good thing.
it is a good thing. And I feel like a lot of people are learning a lot about what goes on in my head because of it. Because I
Hmm.
don't think I share enough. And I know I've had friendships where people are like, it's so difficult to get you to talk about what's going on with you. And it's like, because I don't want to be a burden because it's too much at points.
And I think that's where the anxiety makes it worse
Yeah, the
because you
anxiety.
feel like that. You don't want to be a burden on someone, even though you're not.
Mhm.
Because if a friend is a friend, they'll listen.
But
But
but even then, as somebody who has a lot of friends that suffer from depression and anxiety, there's a point where every single conversation is about that. And I feel like as somebody who also has both depression and anxiety, you can't deal with it with somebody else's problems every single day while dealing with your problems every
yeah.
single day.
Hmm.
Like there's a cutoff point, and I feel like that's a line that a lot of people cross over and over and over again.
Hmm. I agree.
So for you, like when have do you talk to your friends and family constantly about depression or anxiety? No.
No,
Why?
I don't always feel it. It, I mean, it only happens sometimes, but I've tried
Hmm.
talking to friends about it. And, you always have a select few who maybe they're dealing with it also, so they know how to handle those situations. But then you get the other ones who don't understand and they just think you're constantly anxious. And, you know, in my personal
Hmm.
life, I have a few friends who I've known since school, and they'll get together and they won't invite me because they think I'm going to say no.
Hmm.
And I've tried to tell them, like, that makes it worse.
Yeah.
Like, give me the option to say, if I'm anxious that day and I don't want to go, then I don't want to go. It's fine.
Hmm.
But it's like, if I say no, then they get upset. It's just, it's
It's too
better
much.
sometimes just to internalize it,
Yeah.
because things like that, I mean, you know who you can talk to and who you can't.
Hmm. And there's people who do get sensitive about it. It's and well, on both sides of it. The people who have anxiety who get sensitive when people, exclude them because of it, and then
Yeah.
you have the people who don't have anxiety who get sensitive because they feel hurt when when you don't want to join them for certain stuff.
Yeah.
And for me, as part of my depression and anxiety, it's triggering when people are like, "What do you have to be depressed about? You have people in your life. People love you. People are seeking you." And it's like, yes, but only when I'm screaming it from the rooftops. Only when I'm letting people
Exactly.
know. Like,
Yeah.
what happens in those 2, 3 weeks where I don't talk about it?
Mm-hmm.
I get zero people asking me, "Are you okay? How's your day
Exactly.
going?" And
Yeah.
actually wanting to know.
Yeah.
So, like
I
it's
text you.
yeah, you text me. There's few people who do. Like after the last podcast, I got some people reaching out to me like, "Oh, you can always call and talk to me." It's like, I haven't spoken to you in 6 months. Yay, thank you.
I think it's because, like I said, people who have it, you kind of understand what, like, you have depression and anxiety, which is worse than what I deal with on a daily basis. But I
Mhm.
understand where you're coming from because I have a little bit of it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, I know how to handle those situations. So I will text you on a random day and ask you how you're doing or whatever. But I mean, that sometimes for me, especially lately, I told Brianna the other day that I feel lonely because it's like no one's calling me, no one's texting me. They
Mhm.
know I'm anxious
Yeah.
because I've been dealing with anxiety for the past few months, but it's like nobody calls me.
Yeah. And it's funny because I will constantly text you just to bust your chops about stuff,
Yeah.
but it's it's trying to brighten your day a bit.
Yeah.
It's getting you to laugh. It's anything. Like I know I don't laugh as much as I should.
Hmm.
I like my room is dark. I don't like the sunlight. I was just talking about about this to somebody earlier because yesterday I went to a Shark Fest event and I won a boogie board. We were
That's
playing big.
awesome.
We were playing bingo, and right on the fifth thing, whatever you want to call it, I got a line in there, and I called bingo, and I won. And I got a boogie board and a shark fanny pack, which my nephew quickly stole because
Of
it's
course.
adorable. Everybody wanted it once they saw it. People were like, "I'll trade you this for that." I'm like, "No." My nephews were upset that I came to this event because I'm usually with them playing futsal or doing some sort of physical exercise.
Hmm.
And I'm like, they're upset over it. I think giving them these goodies is a good buy off for them. So yeah, like it's a cute fanny pack. The boogie board, I have no idea what I'm gonna do about because first of all, I don't like water. Second of all, I don't like sunshine.
Oh, Jesus.
And third, I don't like people. I don't like being around people.
That's going to be your homework. You're going to have to go to the beach.
I've been thinking about going to the beach because I bought a bunch of extra batteries for my camera just so I can be shooting around as much as possible. I haven't been shooting as much as I want to because, well, one, I don't want to be around people because of COVID.
Mhm.
But now that I'm fully vaccinated, I finally got to hang out with people who are fully vaccinated as well because of this event. I feel a little bit more comfortable to go out there and continue doing what I've been doing.
Mhm.
Um, if you follow me on social media, I started my new hashtag Jesus rediscovering the world, which is something I've been doing after pandemic. Whenever I go out, it's usually with friends who are fully vaccinated, and we still double mask. We still keep our social distance. So it's helping me kind of not think about depression and anxiety as much.
Mhm.
But um, it's still there, and it's still an issue. And I am hoping that since I'm talking about it, people out there will be less afraid to talk to their people about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, the stigma is always going to be there. We're always going to have people who don't believe it exists, who don't believe it's an issue. I know many people who think that mental health is a myth and we're all okay. We can all be okay. We have to choose to be okay. And
Yeah, it's all in your head.
yeah. And there's tons of people like that, but at the same time, we know what we go through. Each of us have our own experience. And that's why when I talk about it, I say this is my experience in my depression because the way I experience it is not the way everybody else experiences it.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about that last week because
Mm-hmm.
I told you that I had been dealing with like I don't know hypochondria.
Yep.
Like I would get a headache and think I had a blood clot. So I started going outside and walking, and the fresh air and the sun helped me, but doesn't necessarily help you. So that's where everyone
Yeah.
is different, and you just have to find what works for you, I guess.
Yeah. And little by little, I feel like I'm going to grab a hold of this again and continue going the direction that I want to go instead of just like feeling stuck in this rut.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna skip over my next topic just because it goes hand in hand with this, and I feel like we've talked about this enough for this week.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna make a note that we're gonna do this next week. Uh, Other than that, how has your week been?
Non-eventful.
Non-eventful.
Actually, Brianna came over yesterday.
Oh
She
yeah.
was here for the first time in a long time.
How was that for you? I know you are very close with your niece. So
Yeah, she kicked me out of my room and stole my iPad, but
why does she need to be alone with your iPad?
oh my God, this again? She was drawing on the
Uh,
iPad and they don't have cable at their house. So she was here watching TV in my room.
okay.
Listen, I don't care what she was doing. She was here
Mhm.
and I haven't seen her for a long time.
Even though she kicked you out and you weren't in the same room as
Yes.
her.
Yeah.
Okay. I
I mean,
guess.
to be fair, I was working in the dining room.
Okay.
I was working, so I couldn't really hang out. But she came here after work, and it was just nice having her back in my house.
How is she enjoying having a job now and making her
She
own
likes
money.
it actually.
She does.
Yeah, she does.
It's funny when I was reading earlier this week about how only 6% of people who have been affected by COVID actually want to go back to the workplace.
Hmm.
And the majority want some kind of hybrid where they can work from home or work from the office. And there's only a very few amount that actually want like only at home,
Hmm.
which is crazy. I don't know how you work some jobs from home. Like when it comes to retail, I don't feel like buying stuff online necessarily makes sense for, I don't know, like picking clothes that fit right.
You can talk to Brianna about that because that's all she does is buy clothes online.
That is crazy.
I mean, it's convenient.
Yeah, but don't you want stuff to fit well?
Yes.
Like how do you do that while only looking at stuff online?
See, and this is where like experience comes into play because I know which brands fit me and which brands don't. So, but with Brianna, she buys from these weird random stores online that I've never heard of that I have to go looking up reviews to see if they're legit companies or not.
Mhm.
And she just wings it.
Yeah.
I don't know how she does it.
I don't know how she would do it either because I know like
It's these youngins.
with the experience, yeah, you can buy from the same brand, the same style, the same size, and get something you know you're comfortable in. But then you end up like me with the same exact thing 5 different times, and you're like, damn, people are gonna think I'm wearing the same clothes over and over when it's actually just the fact that I only buy black or gray or blue, and it's always the same brand because I know that it fits well.
You know what I have to say about that?
What?
Who gives a flying shit? Who thinks you're wearing the same clothes?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure people are like, wasn't he wearing
Who
black pants
cares?
yesterday?
I could give two shits
Mhm.
what anybody thinks about what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
I went the other day because I found randomly one day I bought a pair of like black leggings
Mhm.
and I started wearing them to go walking and I love them. So
Mhm.
I'm like, I went to the store the other day and I bought like 4 pairs of them. And I'm like, I really don't care. They're just black
Interesting.
leggings.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Like I won't wear specific exercise clothes to go work out with the kids or play futsal or soccer or anything. So I will wear my regular pants to do that. And it's like they get sweaty. I'm not gonna put on sweaty pants a second day in a row. I'm gonna put them in the laundry. But I also have that same exact style, that same exact brand, that same exact color to wear the next day. Especially when you have work and they only like certain colors at work.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna wear khaki. It's either black or khaki. I'm not gonna wear khaki.
Does anyone wear khaki anymore?
Yes, which is
They
crazy because
do?
I remember when I was wearing khaki in high school before I like decided I don't like khaki. But that was like 22 years ago. God damn, that makes me feel old.
Oh
22
my God,
years since high school.
don't even talk about it.
Mhm.
And to clarify, 22 years since we graduated high school.
No, no,
Not even,
it's been 20 years since we graduated high school. 22 years since I remember saying no more khaki, no more polo shirts.
mm-mm.
Yeah. But yeah, I graduated 2002. What year did you
Yeah, me too.
graduate?
Me too.
Yeah. So it's been like 20
I told
years.
you, I don't know what day it is. I don't know what year it is.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I blame that on quarantine. I think none of us know what time period we're living in anymore. I know I've walked around and seen people wearing like 1940s clothes, and I'm like, what the hell? Did we travel back in time?
Oh
And then people
my
talking
God.
about watching the Smurfs, and I'm like, wait, the Smurfs? Are we in the 60s? What's going on? Like, do
Wait, the
you remember?
Smurfs weren't in the 60s, Jesus.
I think they started in the 60s, didn't they? Like
Let's look
people
it
were,
up. I know
yeah.
I used to watch it when I was little.
And then yesterday, I overheard a conversation at the party about Felix the Cat before reruns.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, when was Felix the Cat? I remember Felix the Cat when I was growing up, but those were all reruns and they were like early in the morning.
Oh wait, you said Smurfs.
Yeah. I know
Yeah,
Felix the Cat was
I wasn't
closer.
talking. I wasn't thinking of Smurfs. I was thinking of something else that was equally awesome.
I like the Smurfs. I know my nephews also grew up with a new iteration of the Smurfs because of the movies. But
It says 81 to 89.
okay, so I was way off, but still, it's still like we're in 2021. Why are we talking about shows from way
Because
back?
they keep bringing them back. Look at Fraggle Rock. They
Fraggle
released
Rock
some episodes of Fraggle Rock.
and Animaniacs, and
I used to like Animaniacs too.
I always talk about Animaniacs like it taught us stuff without us realizing it was teaching us stuff. Like it was so entertaining. You didn't care that Yaku was teaching you the states and capitals.
It
It
was
was
like
just
subliminal messages.
yeah. And I'm like, I don't know how kids do it now that they don't have educational TV like that where they can enjoy it while they're watching it.
Mm-mm.
Now they have YouTube and YouTubers who are like doing this ridiculous stuff to get likes.
Yeah, doing stupid hair colors and
Well, my nephews both had red hair for like a day and a half. So yeah.
yeah, but they're not getting paid to post videos of them dyeing people's hair.
And although they do have YouTube channels because they enjoy editing and playing and they do gaming videos, they do not show their faces. Only the older nephew actually that has his actual voice on there. My other nephew has a voice changer because we were paranoid about them doing stuff online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which leads me to my next topic, which was gaming. I don't know if you do much gaming, but I know I do a lot of gaming, and I casually mentioned it last week, but not to the point where I wanted to. No, no gaming.
No.
I know Brianna plays Fortnite.
Yeah, she plays Fortnite. I
You,
have no I tried that once and I was like, what the hell is this?
you're probably like me, where you're like, I either want to shoot or I want to build. I don't want to shoot and build.
I
Like,
didn't even know that's what you were supposed to do.
yeah. So Fortnite is in Chapter 2, Season 7. It's called Invasions. It's an alien themed season, but there's also Batman and Fortnite doing 0 Point comics. There's 6 comics and they're incredible comics. The first one isn't the best. I would say that the third one's the best one so far, but they're really cool comics. I decided I want to do the Batman suit for my Halloween costume because it's a really cool Batman suit. It's a tattered Batman suit. Like it just seems
Mm-hmm.
like a bunch of straps and it's ripped all over the place and it's very grungy. So I'm like, I like it.
And it's black.
And it's black. So yeah.
What do
I,
you
I
play on Xbox or PlayStation?
I play on Xbox and I play on Switch, while
Mm-hmm.
my nephews play on PS5, Xbox, and PC.
I'm trying to get a PS5 for my brother.
Uh-huh.
It's impossible.
Message me later. I might have a person for you.
Oh shit, look at
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, my nephew's got a PS5 out of sheer luck, but
Mm-hmm.
I have family members who are just buying and reselling because I don't know how they're doing it, but every single time they come out, they always get at least 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, you said a family?
Yeah.
So they're not gonna screw me, right?
No, they're not.
Okay.
I'll make sure they don't. So yeah, but so yeah, I play Fortnite. I have a creator code because I do post about it on YouTube every once in a while. I constantly am posting on Instagram about it, so I decided why not? Let's get a creator code. So if anybody plays Fortnite, use my code dysfunctional as your supporter creator code. Hopefully, I start getting stuff from them that I can end up giving to people online because I don't feel like I would keep any of this stuff. But yeah, like it's fun. It's fun to play. I think you should join me in a match so you can see how you do.
Of what? Fortnite?
Yes. I know Brianna had said that she would join me at some point, but never has she. So
Listen, Brianna is 17. She's a royal pain in the ass, and I love her. but you can't get her to sit down and do anything
You
unless
can't.
unless it's buying clothes online.
And I'm not gonna be the person to buy her clothes. So yeah, that's not gonna happen.
No, that's my job apparently.
Is it?
No, now it's her job. She makes her own money now. She can do whatever she wants.
Does she make enough to sustain her lifestyle? Because it seems like
Well,
she has some sort of lavish lifestyle at the moment.
right. We took her to get the second dose of the vaccine
Mhm.
on Sunday, actually. And her mom came with us. And we were talking like Brianna goes to all these museums that I didn't even know existed.
Mhm.
And I'm like, she's all over Wynwood and going to all these places. I'm like, you're 17, we're 37, and we don't even do those things.
Mhm. How does that happen?
I don't know. I
Maybe
have no
she just
idea.
has, maybe unlike you, she has actual friends.
I mean, I used to have friends. I don't know where they are though.
Mhm.
You know what's sad? I have like driving anxiety, so I don't like driving on the highway. I can and I have, but I don't
Mhm.
like it because I mean, we're in Miami and people don't know how to drive. But
People don't
Brianna
know
the
how to
other
drive
day,
everywhere.
I know, but it's bad here. Brianna was like, she said something the other day about going to the beach. And I was like, oh my God, I want to go to the beach. It's been so long. Her friend was like, I can drive. She was telling me she could drive me. And I'm like, oh my God, this 17-year-old is telling me she's going to drive me to the
Mhm.
beach. So sad.
Just consider her a chauffeur and live the rich life there.
Brianna's friends love me. They think I'm the cool aunt,
Really?
which is accurate.
Uh-huh. Well, I've been playing futsal with the kids constantly over the last couple of weeks,
What
and
is that? You keep saying that, and I don't know what that
futsal,
is.
yeah, apparently nobody knows what futsal is. It's a indoor soccer. Like you play on concrete, you don't play on grass, you play with a different ball. There's a little bit of different rules, not too many, and
And
it's
what
a
is it
smaller
called?
net. Futsal.
Futsal?
Futsal.
Oh,
Yeah.
never heard of
And
it.
I thought that coming back from not doing much during the pandemic, I was gonna be very rusty, very tired all the time. But no, like I'm playing with 12-year-olds and up, and I'm keeping up pretty well. Most of the time, we play for like 2 hours, and I'm still going at it, so I don't feel as bad anymore.
Nice.
As a matter of fact, like they get tired before I do, and I'm like, that's kind of bad. Like
Yeah,
you
that
guys
is
are
bad.
kids. Yeah. But
Kids are not active like we were.
yeah, and it's another conversation I had with the nephews the other day. They're like, "There's no we don't have well, we have a yard, but it's a bunch of trees and plants and vegetables and all this good stuff." And they're like, "Where did you guys used to play?" And I'm like, "On the street." They're like, "You weren't afraid of cars?" They're like, "No, we always kept a lookout for
Mm,
cars." They're like, "Why don't we get to play on the street?" And I'm like, "Because people are dumber now."
yes, for real.
Uh,
Because back then people didn't have cell phones that they were looking at while they were driving. Now they
mhm.
do, and they will miss you.
Yeah. Definitely. So they're missing out on stuff. But I'm hoping that as we start doing more, the older nephew is getting a nicer telescope. So we're gonna be going out to use that. We've had a telescope, but nothing too fancy or too nice. So it's only been like what we can do, and mostly what we see is the moon. That telescope isn't necessarily the best, so you can't really see anything else. We tried looking at a star, but it's so difficult to like keep it in focus.
Oh my God, wait, I want to show you something. Hold on.
Go for it.
My Brianna was at her friend's house the other day and she was like, I don't know, they know like weird shit that I would like.
Yeah,
So she showed me this thing that they got on Amazon. I'm just gonna show it to you. Hold on.
go for it.
Okay. So it's like a little hand. Can you see it?
Yeah.
And then it has this. Oh, you can't see it on here. It looks like the moon.
Oh,
And then it's a little hand.
that's awesome.
But you can't see it.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, there you go. That is awesome.
And then you tap it
Yeah.
and it changes color. It's like orange now.
So we were out during the strawberry supermoon, which I posted a picture of on my social media. And people were asking me how I get these pictures because, yeah, unless you have that attachment for your telescope, it's really difficult. Let's see if this works. Hold on. Yay, it worked. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I just click and click and click and hope for the best.
They came out good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was a strawberry supermoon. You can't really see the red tint for some reason, but I'm guessing it's because the lens gets gets too much light, therefore it blows out the white.
Mm-hmm.
But it did have a reddish goldish tint for the moon.
Mm-hmm.
It's called a strawberry moon. And this is stuff my nephew told me. The Farmer's Almanac calls it a strawberry moon because June is when strawberries are ripe for picking,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the final supermoon of the year. So for this year, it's a strawberry supermoon, which means the moon is at its closest point for the rest of the year.
Interesting.
But it's only the second largest it's been this year. So yeah, there's usually 4 supermoons a year.
Nice. And you learned that from your nephew?
Yes, I did not know that. I double checked it on Google because I know sometimes he reads stuff and doesn't quite
Mm-hmm.
necessarily get the point of it. But he
Mm-hmm.
was right. It is the last supermoon of the year, and I'm glad we got to see it. And
Nice.
it was over 3 nights, so people were able to watch it. I think it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where is it? Where's my other thing? Okay. We'll do the other thing later because I can't find it at the moment. But yeah, other than that, and anything else you did over the weekend or week?
Nope.
No
Just
new
took Brianna to get
concerts.
her vaccine. No, no new concerts.
Mhm. How was her experience with the second dose?
She had no side effects.
Well, she had already gone through COVID, so I'm guessing that
Well, the first dose of the vaccine, she had 102 fever for like 2 or 3 days.
that's insane.
Yeah. And then this one, she didn't have anything.
Mhm.
I was so nervous.
She took Pfizer or Moderna?
She can only get Pfizer because she's 17.
Okay, yeah,
And my brother, her father just got his second one yesterday.
Pfizer as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think that's the way it went. I think Pfizer, the major side effects happened during the first dose, and for Moderna, the major side effects happened during the second dose.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh,
Would
her mom just got Moderna yesterday, the first one,
yeah,
and she had a fever and body aches. But
yeah,
she also had COVID, so who knows?
yeah. I know during the first one for Moderna, it wasn't that bad for me, but like once again, the second one really knocked me out for like about 5 days. So
See,
yeah,
I didn't get anything with either one, and I'm like, oh God, don't tell me it didn't work on me.
it probably did. You could always go get the test so you can make sure that the antibodies are in your system because I know
Mm-hmm.
when I went to go get my checkup to not even it's like now like a month ago they asked me, oh, would you like to take I'm like, yes, of course. I want to make sure that the antibodies are there.
I think I'll be scared though if I take the test and they say no. Then what do you do?
Then you get vaccinated again.
What?
Yeah, because
I don't know about that.
it just means that the vaccine didn't completely take effect in your system.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be a lot of people? Because I'm like, even my mom, my other brother,
Mhm,
everyone that I know that has gotten the vaccine hasn't felt anything
mhm.
except Brianna.
I know a lot of people who haven't experienced side effects have gone to go get the mRNA test and they do have the antibodies in their system. So
Hmm.
it all depends on your system. I mean, if it quickly acts and reacts to the vaccine, then most likely you won't get fevers or anything like that. But if it takes time and it recognizes it as a foreign substance, then it will have side effects, most likely a fever, because that's what happens when your system starts reproducing stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, science,
I don't
amazing.
know. Hopefully that shit worked.
Yeah. Have you been watching anything on any streaming sites?
Just still watching Friends.
Still watching Friends?
Yeah.
What did you think about the reunion?
It wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. I
What
think they
was it? I
had
didn't watch it.
you didn't watch it? They did a few things that were like not necessary. Like I
Mhm.
would rather have heard them talking about certain things that they like were that they laughed about while they were filming or
Mhm.
something like that, like memories that they have. But they did like some dumb stuff. I don't know. They had like Cara Delevingne dressed up like the holiday armadillo, and I don't know. It just wasn't.
She's awesome, though. I like her.
I mean, I don't not like her, but I think
Mhm.
that whole segment it was a waste of time.
I also hear. I also saw on her social media that she's a huge Friends fan. So it was like a dream come true for her. I'm guessing that's why they did it with her.
I love that show.
I don't. Yeah. So on Netflix, I watched a movie called A Silent Voice. It's an anime. It's the second time I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, my summary for it, because I'm not. I did not want to get a summary from Netflix because I've noticed that a lot of synopsis on the Netflix site give too much away.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the whole movie is about a bully who is trying to get redemption by befriending the deaf girl he once bullied, which leads to him realizing that both they're both much more similar than they expected. It's it's a very emotional anime. It's about bullying. I think it has a good grasp of what bullying is and
Mm-hmm.
how and the side effects of it. Because first, the bully wants to commit suicide because he feels like he's worthless in the world because he was once a bully and he never did anything good. And then you see the person who was bullied at some point wanted to commit suicide as well because she felt worthless because people were just bullying her.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely um uh, uh, a good grasp of what bullying is like.
It kind of sounds a little depressing. Is
It
it
can
not?
be, but uh, I also feel that there's a lot of beauty to the story because it is a redemption story.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of positivity in it, even though there is a lot of darkness in it. But it's a heavy movie for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's one that I watched. It's the second time I watched it. I remember the first time I watched it. I didn't remember how heavy the topics were, but it's definitely a good watch.
And it's a movie.
Yes, it's about 2 hours long.
Interesting.
Yeah. Uh, Still Netflix. I watched the fifth season and last season of Kim's Convenience. I don't know if you've ever watched that series.
Mm-mm.
Now it's a very funny. I think it's a Canadian series about uh Korean a Korean girl who is coming of age and kind of dealing with the cultural aspect of being Korean, and their parents own a convenience her parents own a convenience store, and all the pressure that comes in between them because of their cultural differences. Growing up in Canada and having parents who grew up uh immigrating from Korea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's funny. It's the last season, and it ended very openly, which is kind of upsetting to me because there is no closure.
I hate that.
Yeah, like you expect another season, but it was canceled and they knew it was the final season and it still didn't have a definite ending.
They knew that it was going to be the last season.
Yeah.
Okay, well then that sucks even more. If they knew and they still left it like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like The Sopranos, where it ends in the middle of the scene.
I never watched that show.
I watched that final season. So yeah, I recommend once again. I recommend it. The characters are very appealing. The story is funny. There is a lot of laughs. There's a lot of inappropriate scenes. Not
Wait,
necessarily
which show are you talking about?
Kim's Convenience.
Okay. I thought you went off on Sopranos because I said I never watched it.
No, I only watched the final season of Sopranos, so I can't really talk too much about that.
Mhm.
It was more of a I needed to know what was the big deal, so I went back
my
and watched
brother
that final
my
season.
brother told me that some of that show was actually filmed in the town that I lived in New Jersey, which is pretty
Nice.
cool.
Yeah. Is there anything you watched on Netflix?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Everything, I mean, the shows haven't come back yet. Well, actually, I just finished Lucifer.
That's a good series.
Yeah, I just watched the last few episodes that came out. I just finished that yesterday.
I haven't watched the last few episodes.
Watch it. It's good. They did a musical episode and I like musicals, but I don't like when shows do musical episodes. I don't like it.
I think that's funny because I remember on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, out of nowhere came that musical episode. And I'm like, how are they gonna do a musical episode on a series which is about vampires?
I hate it.
But you get that episode and there's a demon that casts a spell that made everybody want to sing and dance for some reason.
This is on Lucifer, it's something similar. God makes everybody do these musical numbers, whatever, but it's still, I don't like it. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I like musicals. If I go into something and I know it's a musical, then I'm fine. But if it's a regular show and it to do a musical thing, I don't know. I'm over it.
I will be posting up my interviews with the Lucifer cast on my Instagram TV thing because I
Who
have
did you interview?
everybody from that series.
I'm not speaking to you.
Yeah. They're it was an awesome show. I was really into it the first couple of seasons. I was really sad when they canceled it. I was happy that Netflix picked it up, and I
Then
think
I got
that
canceled again.
yeah, but that's just the way it goes, you know. We had Last Man Standing get canceled on ABC. Fox picked it up, and
I feel like these networks are canceling so many like sitcom shows and
yeah,
bringing these stupid reality shows.
yep. But it's all a financial thing. I mean, reality shows you don't have to pay actors, so it's much cheaper to pick up, and you make more money because people still watch them. And if you put them on prime time, you are able to sell premium ads and make a huge profit from it.
It's so stupid.
Yeah. And another anime series I watched, it's both on Netflix. The first season is on Netflix, and both season one and season two are on Hulu. I only watched season one because it's the only one that's dubbed. The other one's just subbed. It's called The Promised Neverland.
Mhm.
It's about an orphanage where kids find out that they are nothing but cattle for monsters. So they're being raised for monsters to eat. And when
Okay.
and when they find out, they start making a plan to escape, which is the entire season one. It's an exciting series. There's a lot of twists and turns, which is what I was most captivated by. There's parts where it is scary, and my little nephew actually is the one that wanted to watch this, and I had to watch it before he did just to make sure that nothing was too bad in it.
Mhm.
And there was only like two parts in the entire series that I think are not appropriate for kids. But other than that, once again, it's a good series. Season one is on Netflix. Season one and two are on Hulu, but season two is only subbed. So you definitely need to be paying attention to reading what's going on.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of even the twists that happen in season one. there's even more twists in season 2 that affect how you view season 1. So the people doing this series are definitely amazing writers who are keeping in line with everything that's going on throughout the entire season 1 and season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you watch anything on Hulu?
Well, just Handmaid's Tale, I think. I mean, as far as like their originals, I think
Handmaid's
that's the
Tale.
only one.
I think I saw like an episode or two, and I haven't continued watching it just because there's
It's
so much more to
creepy.
watch. And it's not just creepy, but everybody's telling me to watch it, and I feel
Did
like
you ever watch Shadow and Bone?
I have not finished watching Shadow and Bone.
Homework for you.
Yes. You need to remind me of this stuff.
I don't even know what
Uh,
day it is, Jesus.
I'm still watching Smallville on Hulu. I just finished season 6, so I'm on season 7 already,
And
and
how many are there?
9.
Mhm.
So I just found out this week as well that Smallville, the animated series, is coming with the original cast. Well, I know Tom Welling is reprising his role as Clark Kent.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a continuation of Smallville from where it left off. So I'm kind of happy I started rewatching it now that I know that there is a continuation and there's something to look forward to.
And it's an animated, you said?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I hope a lot of the old cast returns to do their voices because it'd be weird to have a different voice to one of the old characters.
Yeah, they need to bring Michael Rosenbaum back because,
He has an amazing voice.
yes.
Yeah.
And they've left him out of everything else, Lex Luthor. So they need to bring him.
Yeah. He was a great Lex Luthor. He had both that charm of Lex Luthor and that personified intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he
Yeah, like
was.
you liked him, but you hated him.
Yeah, but you also could never dispute his reasoning behind why he did things. Like it was
Yeah.
very reasonable. And then do you have Disney Plus?
Yes.
Yes. Did you watch Luca?
No, you asked me that last week and I didn't.
Uh-huh.
And my niece and her mom asked me on Sunday if I watched it, and they said it was really good. So I might have to watch that one.
It was very adorable. Like my little nephew has seen it 3 times already because it's just that captivating for kids. Like it is very much a boy version of the Little Mermaid. Like he wants to be part of the people on land. He's not a prince, but there's all this stuff that happens to him that's really cool. It's very colorful, it's very charming, and I'm amazed that my 8-year-old nephew, who was constantly playing while we're watching stuff, just sat there and watched this entire thing. Like there's just something about these movies that keep you locked to the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you should definitely watch it.
Yeah, I might have to do that.
We might actually have to talk about this next week as well if you end up watching it.
I'll do my homework if you do your homework.
I will. Did you watch In the Heights?
Yes.
Yes. What did you think about In the Heights?
I don't know how I feel about it. I liked it, but I didn't like it.
I liked it as a musical. I definitely thought the music was great, even though like it had very much the same feel as Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
Like it seemed like it was just copy and paste the beats, the notes. Yeah. Even though it is a very brilliant play, it's a great story. The script is relatable no matter who you are.
Mm-hmm.
What did you feel about the controversy that came up from there being just very light Hispanics and no actual dark skinned Hispanics?
I don't know. See, it's funny because you make fun of me that I never have notes. But this week I was working and I was like, you know what? I need to write some stuff down because there's some things that I wanted to talk to you about. And that's kind of one of them because I was thinking of the whole cancel culture thing.
Yeah.
And how everybody complains about everything.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I understand it. I mean,
I understand it, but it's like all those people that were there auditioned for these roles.
Mhm.
It's not like somebody just said, okay, you're too dark, so we're not going to pick you. You know what I mean? I feel like if they auditioned,
Yeah.
they got the role because they were the better people for the part. But there
Okay.
were, I mean,
That's
am I
what
wrong?
I feel like you're wrong because I think this is where the disconnect happens between light and dark skinned. Um, yes, it should be that the best person for the role gets the part. But at the same time, I think executives, producers, casting directors are looking at, will this person bring attention?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think many people consider people of color to be those attention grabbers. They, like, that's a colorism stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I can't remember which one of the celebrities I interviewed that said it, but I'm pretty sure I could find it and post it up. But they said, right now, Hollywood is all about people of color. Give it 6 months, and we're gonna be gone again.
Yeah,
And
and see, that's something I don't like. I don't like that. I like the diversity.
mhm,
It's even the same um because since the Friends reunion came out, everyone was talking about how Friends was they had no diversity on the show. And I'm
mhm.
like, oh my God, but that was from like the early 90s, which I
You mean
get
there?
it.
You mean there was no black people in New York in the early '90s? You mean there's no actors wanting to
No,
act in the early '90s?
no, what I mean is people complaining about a show that was on in the 90s, there's no point. They
Yeah.
can't go back and change it. Would it had would it have been nice to see diversity? Of course.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm half white, half Cuban. So it's like,
Hmm.
you know, I like seeing shows that are diverse and have diverse casts, but you don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
For
I just
people
think
who,
that the cancel culture thing it's gotten a little bit out of hand. It's like people complain about anything.
yeah, for people who don't listen to podcasts, one of the podcasts I really recommend is Maya Bialik's Breakdown. She Her point of view is very diverse. She has different people on every single week, whether it be celebrities or actual professional doctors. It's a mixture of everybody, and she tackles mental health, she tackles diversity, she tackles colorism, everything. And she had one of her co-stars from, oh, what's the name of the show on Fox? The Cat Show. My Name is Cat.
Oh.
One of her, and they talk about how for the first time this actor was able to step on a set where he's not the only black person on set. And
Mm-hmm.
it's the same actor who played in New Girl who replaced Damon Wayans. Or
Oh, Lamorne
yes,
something,
yes.
Morris or something like that.
And he talked about how one of the questions he was asked when Damon returned was, "Oh, so where does that leave your character? Are you still going to be on the show? Like only one black person could be on that show."
Yeah.
And I felt that that was a very sensitive question to ask, but at the same time a very pointed question that
Mm-hmm.
needed to be answered. And like he said it, like there's a lot of times where there's not enough budget for diversity. Where yes, like um I know I've heard this from several actresses of color. The makeup artist does not know how to work with people of color's hair because it's different. There's a
Yeah, I've
different
heard that also.
procedure, and how they need to pay for their own makeup artist, pay for their own hair. And Lamar talked about how he would need to wake up earlier to go get a haircut from his barber because the person on set didn't know how to handle his hair. So yeah, I understand how people don't think it's a problem, but when you start hearing the stories of the people of color who are going through it,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, it's a major problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And as a person of color, and I can't hide that. No, I do not look white. I do not act white. I do not talk white. People look at me and constantly know I'm not white.
Mm-hmm.
I do get
Unlike
treated
me.
Yeah, unlike you and a lot of people that I hang out with that are Hispanic and are very light Hispanic, um, there's a difference. There's a big change in the way people treat you.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's moments like when I'm on the carpet, when I used to be on the carpets, where I would wonder if I got passed by because I'm one of the few people of color or just because I'm at the end of the carpet.
Mm-hmm.
Or am I at the end of the carpet because that's where the people of color are.
Yeah. That's sad.
Yeah. But yeah, like I could see why the people brought up that about In the Heights. Like, why is there only light skinned Hispanics? Dominicans, which is the main character, they're usually darker skinned.
Mm-hmm.
Like I guess I wasn't paying as close attention to the movie as I thought in the beginning because for the majority of the movie I thought he was Puerto Rican.
Well, I think it's weird because he's Puerto Rican in real, no, he's wait, what is it? He's Dominican on the show,
Yeah.
in the movie, but in real life, he's Puerto Rican. Yeah.
Is he? I don't know. Like
I think
I
so.
just thought it was weird because I'm like, wait a minute. Why am I not paying attention to this? Like, am I so used to it just being like not correct that I don't look at it anymore, or is it just the fact that I don't want to? I want to think that it's just because he is talented because I thought he did a good job.
Yeah, I did too. I think one thing about him though, like they keep putting him, like you said, it was kind of like, Hamilton 2.0.
Yeah.
Every song that he was singing,
Mhm.
it was like him rapping, but he has such a good singing voice. Cause he just had an album
Yeah.
come out and he is he is a singer.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like they kind of wasted his talent a little bit.
A bit, but at the same time, the movie was made by Lin-Manuel and he had wanted a lot of rap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is what it is. It's still an enjoyable movie. It's still worth watching, and definitely need to support the Hispanic people in Hollywood trying to do better and better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If they want to check out more, I guess they could check out stuff at According to Kristin. Have you been posting?
What?
Have you been
No.
posting on according to
No, I heard you.
Kristin.com?
I heard you. No, I haven't. I'm trying to get better.
Uh-huh. I have not posted as much as I wanted to this week, but I did post a couple of things over at dysfunctional.com. So check that out. I will be posting on According to Kristin too, so I can get her moving, hopefully. Hopefully I still have my login info somewhere.
Oh my God.
What else? Oh, the last thing, and it's something I wrote down yesterday because it became a topic of discussion yesterday, which is I've been talking to some people about the fact that I want to start dating again.
Mm-hmm.
And I always get that I always get asked why I haven't been looking for people to
Mm-hmm.
date. And I don't know how to answer that most of the time. Like, because like it's mostly because I want to work on myself and be able to put, all of me into a relationship and not just fool myself into believing I'm doing okay in the relationship,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's uncomfortable to be asked like, why now? Like, oh, did COVID, get you so lonely that you want somebody there? It's like, no, it has nothing to do with COVID. It has nothing to do with quarantine. It has nothing to do with any of that. I'm comfortable by myself, which is apparent by the way I live because I don't like people around me 24/7. And I
Mm-hmm.
hope that in a relationship, it won't be 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like dating was a main point of conversation yesterday, which was weird and unusual because usually when I go to events and I meet people at events, it's very professional and I don't look to date people that I meet at events.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you are about stuff like that. Do you have you ever dated anybody from work?
No.
No. Would you?
Okay, wait. There was one person,
Mhm.
but it was one of those learning experiences that will
That made
never
you.
happen again for
Is
for
that a
more than one
good thing
reason.
or a bad thing?
I mean, it depends on how you want to look at it.
Okay.
He was married. To be fair, I
Yeah.
was 18.
So
I'm
it's
37. That's something I would never do.
okay. Okay. And one thing that I want to discuss with you is have you ever have you ever met somebody that you would want to ask to hang out, not as a date or anything like that, but just hang out, but it feels like people are talking to them so much that you'd feel like a creep asking them to hang out or starting up a conversation with them? Because sometimes it feels weird. Like it feels like people expect you to want to date a certain person. And it's like it's not dating. It's discussing stuff with them, talking to them, getting to know them. Like it's and now the way things are with dating, it seems like everybody skips over that part just to get to the part where they're dating and they're holding
Yeah.
hands and they're all that good stuff, you know?
Mhm.
So does it ever feel like people that's all people expect anymore?
To be honest, I'm the last person to ask those questions too because I don't go out a lot.
Hmm.
All my friends here are married and have kids, and they think that everything they do has to be with their spouse and they can't have their own time. So I just don't go out a lot.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what I want to avoid. Like, I want people to know that you can live separate lives while being in a relationship.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people who do that. Like, they don't necessarily go out together every single night,
Hmm.
but they are in a relationship. A lot of them are very happily married for several years now. And I think that's what
That's
keeps them.
probably why.
Yeah, like they're not
Too much
joined at the hip.
togetherness is not always a good thing.
Yeah.
I think my mindset on certain things like that, people think I'm full of shit.
Yeah.
And you get the, oh my God, you're too nice. Oh my God, you're too good to be true. Oh my God, I just want to keep you as a friend. It's
Hmm.
like, why? Because I'm not clingy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's one of the funny things. Like when people tell you, like, "Oh, I wish I could find somebody like you." It's like
Yeah. It's like, oh, hello.
I'm here. Yeah, but I feel like that's just people trying to be nice in a fake way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let people be how they want to be. But yeah, like dating is weird now. I would not go on a dating app because I've heard so many horror stories. There's
Oh
so
my
many
God, I can give you a
people.
few.
Yeah, maybe we could talk about that next time.
Yay.
Prepare some of your horror stories.
No, no, they're not that bad. I've never actually met anyone from a dating app though, like not in person.
Yeah, I've never gone on a dating app, so
I
I,
didn't even want to go on a dating app. One of my friends made me do it.
I would
And
want
I
to hear
just,
your
I all I
experience.
did was learn why I didn't like it in the first place.
I'll invite somebody to come talk to us about their experience because they constantly post on social media about their horror stories. So
Oh my God.
hopefully that happens next week. Where can
Hey, you know who
people?
we should try to get
What?
on the podcast? Keisha.
Yeah. Whenever she's available, she can hop on. You can message her because she talks to you more than she talks to me.
Yeah, I'll message her. I'll see what she's up to. Because I'm
Cool.
sure she has some interesting things to talk about.
I'm sure LA has the most interesting people. Come on.
Well,
Like,
not only that, I mean, she was in New York for how long?
yeah.
Now she's in LA. She works for, what is it, TV Line?
I have no idea. I know she
Yeah, I
works
think she works for
somewhere.
TV Line. I don't know. I think is it just a website? I think it is. TVline.com. Yeah,
Maybe.
because she was
Well,
at TV Guide before and now she's with this. So,
We'll
That'll be
find
cool.
out next week or
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah, we got to get her and Mike on.
Which Mike is going to be a little bit of an issue because we know he's busy.
Yeah.
He,
He's like actually busy.
yeah,
Not like us.
he has a life.
Yeah.
He has family. He has people who depend on him. So
Yeah.
we will get him on eventually when he has time.
Yes.
He's always an interesting character, and I'm
Yes, for
sure
sure.
he'll have a lot to say about dating and
Oh God, no.
both you and I's dating life.
And that'll also be titled The Roast of Jesus and Kristin.
Which is fine. We know Mike does it because he cares. I
Oh my
hope.
God.
But anyways, where can people find you online?
At accordingtokristin.com and on Twitter and Instagram at thiskristen_.
Awesome. And of course, people can find me at dysfunctional.com, my social media at dysfunctional on Twitter and Instagram, dysfunctional LA on Facebook, dysfunctional on Snapchat, youtube.com/dysfunctional, and my gaming channel, twitch.com/dysfunctional. Say bye, Kristin.
Bye.